It's Sunday, December 31st, 2023. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to get right into it today as we are knocking on the door of 2024. I was watching some videos today. You know, everybody's doing the New Year's resolutions. That's wonderful. That's great. You should have already started that. But this year's New Year's resolutions should be much, much different than years prior. It's nice to join the gym and work out. It's nice to look good. It's nice to set goals. We need to be setting our goals much higher right now. And the resolutions we need to be working on are our emergency food supply, water supply, our defensive training, proficiency at the range, getting, of course, in the best physical shape as possible, which most of you have already started to do. What type of assets do we have? How much in assets do we have? Physical assets do we have put away, such as gold and silver? Building up the cash reserve. These are the resolutions, the New Year's resolutions we should have already had started. And people are so far behind. Don't set your goals low. You need to set your goals extremely high now because many people are too far behind. And even if you're not, keep setting the goals higher and higher. We are running out of time. And one of the most precious assets there are is time. And we are no doubt running out of time. We've got to get more aggressive and more persistent with our goals more than ever before because we don't have that much time left. Things are going to really begin to accelerate out of control in 2024. And many of you, like myself, have been preparing for years. This is no time to let off the gas. Keep preparing. Keep putting the food away, the water away, cash, assets. Train, train, train in the gym, at the range. Get as proficient as possible. Get in the best physical shape as possible. You know, these people who continue to write me and say, you need to give us solutions. You're telling us about the problems. I just gave you multiple solutions right there. Get in the best physical shape. Be at the range. Be in jiu-jitsu. Build up those physical assets more than ever. Build up that cash reserve more than ever. Build up the food supply and water supply more than ever. And of course, keep investing in yourself. Keep adding more skills to your skill sets. You got to know how to do things. You got to know how to protect yourself and your family. Now, this first article today coming from The Hedge, we're going to see collisions all over the planet. This by Catherine Austin Fitts. Many of you have been following her. I believe she used to work for the central bank. Very, very knowledgeable, very in touch with what's happening. She says, I think we're going to see collisions at a spiritual, legal, financial, and physical level increasing over the planet. This is real war. And we're in World War III right now, she says. So we're in the beginning stages of World War III. She says gold is a must-have investment for the coming years. And if we believe what we're being told here, that the Fed is going to reverse course and begin to lower rates as early as March, you're going to see the dollar continue to drop on the index. You're going to continue to see gold go up. And, you know, I have to say that silver has not been doing much, and it seems to really be purposely being suppressed, but it has got to be the cheapest physical asset on planet Earth at this point. And so I'm thinking myself probably to add a little bit more silver in January. I'm going to add a little bit more gold to my reserves. But I think silver may be the most undervalued asset now on planet Earth. So we'll follow that. But Catherine Austin Fitts making a very, very good point here. We're going to see collisions, no doubt, and it has begun. Here's another one from 100%fedup.com. Banking crisis. Now data indicates worse yet to come. Trust in banks globally is faltering. People are beginning to really question the safety of their money in banks. There was a video about 6 months ago with Colonel Douglas McGregor. He was on Valuetainment. If you don't watch Valuetainment, I highly advise that you do. It's a great channel. He says that banks will close for 2 to 3 weeks. When that happens, he doesn't give a date, but it's very possible that we're going to see something, a banking event, where we see banks close for 2 or 3 weeks. That could occur in 2024. No one will be able to get into them. Nobody's going to get into the banks, he says. Things are going to implode. The level of violence will spill over into more remote areas. The violence that we're seeing right now, he's talking about, it's going to spill over into more remote areas, like more suburbia. And we're seeing that right now. When you look at the city of Irvine and the Irvine Spectrum, very beautiful area, one of the safest cities in America, that, you know, individuals can walk in there in the afternoon and just take $16,000 in sunglasses and walk out, or go into a jewelry store and just walk out in the broad daylight. This is what's happening. So we're seeing the spillover now of this violent crime heading into these nicer areas, and it's going to increase, he says. So you have to ask yourself, if Colonel Douglas McGregor is correct, and we're going to continue to see more and more spillover, which it seems like this video that I watched was 6 months ago, and it has only been accelerating. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when it spills over into your neighborhood, into your city? What will you do? These are questions we need to be asking ourselves immediately. What about banks closing for 2 or 3 weeks? What if there's a bail-in during those 2 to 3 weeks, and you know, maybe you have $10,000 in the bank and banks reopen, you have $5,000 in the bank. What are you going to do? How safe is your money? We need to be questioning where our money is. How easy is it to get to? Who's managing our money? What's our money invested in? And you know, how much longer will it be worth anything? How much longer will the dollar have purchasing power? Things we need to be really questioning ourselves. Here's another one today. 2024 will be the year of the prepper. So, you know, I know that people used to make fun of people preparing, and people aren't making fun of people preparing any longer. In fact, they're actually knocking on their doors at this point, asking for food, money, and help. We have, at this point in our history, a very, very angry nation. In fact, you could just go out, drive around, you can just see the way people drive, the way people act, the way people walk, just the look on their face. They're angry because many people are broke. They're getting tapped out. They feel the financial stress. It's taking a toll on their life. But you could see the expression on a lot of people's faces. They look down. And that didn't stop them, I guess, from running up credit card debt this Christmas. They kept doing that. So what are they going to look like, you know, in a couple months from now? They're going to look more desperate. There'll be more despair. They're going to be more emotional. No matter if you're on the right, if you're on the left, you're in the middle, this is not political whatsoever, but you've got to be very, very concerned every time you go to the grocery store what you're paying for food. You're concerned about inflation, inflation of services, which continues to go up. And inflation, we have to remember, inflation isn't going down. The rate of inflation going up has slowed down, but inflation, the cost is still going up. It's just slowed down. 62% of this country, Grant Cardone says 78% of this country, I've heard some people say 80% of this country are living paycheck to paycheck while we spend tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars giving money to Ukraine, which is now around $100 billion. You know, we hear the term economic collapse, world war, social unrest. It's being used more and more. It's being put on television shows. They're making movies on it now. What are they getting you ready for? They're getting you ready for something. They know something's coming. They know it. And most of you watching this video know it too, and that's why you've been preparing for years. But as I sit here today, just a couple things off the top of my head, what we could be doing, because I know, you know, a lot of people can't think for themselves and they need solutions. So I'm going to help those 4 or 5 people that watch my videos and always, you know, want solutions. And I don't have all the answers, ladies and gentlemen, but I will just share with you what I'm doing. Get emergency food immediately. Just some of the brands. You have Augustin Farms, ReadyWise, 4 Patriots, My Patriot Supplies. There's a lot of different brands out there. And, you know, some of that stuff can get pricey without a doubt. But you know what? You can still go and buy canned food pretty cheap. It's gone up in price like everything else, but you can still go and take 20 or 30 or $50 to the grocery store and load up. And you can go buy bottled water. You should have a trauma kit. That's very important too. You should also have a way to cook your food or heat up your food. You could get a Coleman stove, you could get a jet boil, you know, make sure that you have extra charcoal or wood, extra propane canisters, extra propane tanks, however you're warming up or cooking food. This stuff's very, very important. So these are things that I've done over the years and been adding to, and I advise that you do also. In fact, if I had a larger place and had more space, I would be adding a lot more to my preparations right now. But due to the fact that hopefully I'll be moving at some point in 2024 and have a larger place, hopefully I'll be expanding with that, with animals, a pond, a garden, and all of that. But I have a limited amount of space. Many of you probably have a limited amount of space, but look, you can still stock up emergency food, canned food, bottled waters, and some propane canisters, propane tanks, a couple bags of extra charcoal. I would do as much as I could to minimally have 3 months of food supply. Probably 6 to 12 months is ideal. And if you can do 2 years, that's even better. But you know, I think 90 days to 6 months is where you have to be right now. Here's another one coming from the Hedge today. Cartel fight erupts with Mexican military near Arizona port of entry. This was absolutely out of this world shocking. Large firefight south of Lukeville, Arizona. A Mexican military and cartel in a serious battle. Some of the videos coming out are showing cars on fire, just these multiple shootouts taking place. The video looks like it was filmed somewhere in the Middle East, and it's right at the border of Arizona. Absolutely alarming. This is so close. I mean, it is at the doorstep of America. We have a war zone going on. So look, we're in a war over in Ukraine. We're in a war now in the Middle East, and we have a war taking place right at the border of Arizona with the Mexican military and the cartel. So if you think 2024, we're not going to see events, you are sadly mistaken, because it's already begun, already happening. Just imagine, like, you're on the border and you hear this taking place. Like, you're literally next to a war zone. And that is going to come right over to this side, which has already begun also. Here's another one. San Francisco, small business owners calling for help. No bank will make a commercial loan, they're saying right now. Mark Sackett, who owns the Box San Francisco, a meeting and event space in a historic building in the city's south of Market District, said a loan on his business is due in February, but dozens are turning him down. This is impacting a lot of mom and pop businesses in San Francisco. Some are already done. They're gone. Mr. Sackett says he has impeccable credit, cannot get a loan. It seems like banks are just giving up on San Francisco. So what are these small businesses going to do if they cannot borrow money? They're going to go out of business. They're going to be done. They're going to be gone. And you're going to see more vacancies in San Francisco, more empty buildings. And this is going to put more pressure on the commercial real estate market, which will in return put more pressure on the regional banks who made these loans. And now there's nobody in these buildings. They're completely vacant, and they're going to continue to go down in price. So it's a tragedy, but we're going to see a lot more tragedy in 2024. Here's another one. Chicago mayor's grand plan to stop crime crisis is just giving out checks. They want to give people in Chicago $500,000 in checks. They believe that this is going to slow down crime. Are you kidding me? Being from Chicago, what a tragedy that has taken place in the great city of Chicago, a historic town, beautiful city. Beautiful stores, beautiful galleries, museums, sports town, great food town, you name it. And it literally is a war zone now. And so what is the answer? Give people free money to not commit crime. Who's paying for this? Where's the money going to come from? Chicago's bankrupt. They have massive amounts of debt, and now they believe $500,000 in checks is going to solve the problem. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is another reminder of just how out of control the leadership is in this country and why this country is going down the toilet bowl. And cities like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco are all going to follow. So another good article today coming from the hedge. Consumers are rejecting the Great Reset. Very interesting article talking about the EV market, electric cars, electric vehicles. I do believe in 2024, you're going to see less and less people show interest in these vehicles. The Ford dealerships, half of them are already canceling orders. They're not going to be selling EVs next year. 50% of Ford dealerships are not going to be selling EVs next year. So this is already showing us where this is all going. But the article is interesting because the author of this article said that he had a friend who rented an EV. He was driving it in cold weather, and the battery was drained within nearly 2 hours. So then he had to find a charging station. He said, not an easy task. The first one didn't work. The second one stated that it would take 10 hours to charge the vehicle. So then he found another one, charged the vehicle in 1 hour, and said that that was a waste of 1 full hour waiting to charge a vehicle. So, I mean, a lot of people now are looking at these things as being very inconvenient. They're literally golf carts. That's what they really are. They're glorified golf carts. I see them every day on the golf course, and these EVs do remind me of a golf cart. If you don't charge it, it dies out. In extreme heat, where I live, they die very, very quickly. The batteries die quickly in very, very cold weather. So, you know, if you live in the desert, you probably know that these things don't last very long. If you live in a cold climate in the wintertime, you're going to have problems. And so the inconvenience of driving around one of these little toys, maybe a fun toy, you know, if you live in the right climate or you're just going to run around town locally, but it's an expensive toy. And it's an inconvenient toy, and it's an unreliable toy because weather changes. And if you have to wait at a charging station for 1 hour or 10 hours, that's an inconvenience. Completely unreliable. People are giving up on this. I think in 2024, a lot of people are probably going to sell their EVs. I think a lot of people will not buy another EV, and I think a lot of people who are thinking about buying one will not buy one. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on it. Are these glorified golf carts? I think they are. I want a gas engine. I want a diesel engine. I want something reliable. Here's another one today. From the New York Post, or excuse me, ABC News. U.S. Navy sinks 3 Houthi boats attacking merchant ship in the Red Sea. I believe this happened today. They also ended up killing the crew. Helicopters from the USS Eisenhower and the USS Gravely issued verbal calls, warnings to these vessels. They began to shoot at the helicopters, and they smoked these 3 ships, these 3 boats. And so, you know, I bring this up because things are escalating in the Middle East. We're getting more and more involved now. Now we've sunk 3 ships. We're getting more and more involved. So, you know, this, look, I don't want to be in wars. I don't like war. I wish that this whole thing in Ukraine and the Russians would just calm down, be over with, but it looks like it's not. It's not going to happen. Things are going to continue to escalate. We're going to escalate in the Middle East, and it's a matter of time before China escalates things in Taiwan, and then we have things escalating right here with the Mexican military right at the border with the cartel. So, I mean, think about what we're heading into right now. Why are you not preparing? Okay, these New Year's resolutions where, you know, you just want to like fit in your new sweater, or you want to, you know, you want to improve your golf game, or you want to, you know, just, I don't know, be a better person for whatever reason. Look, you need to set real goals, and you better start setting goals higher and higher, because if you're not preparing for what is coming, again, we've said this many, many times, you don't want to be 50, 80, or 100 pounds overweight with everything that is happening right now. You need to set real goals, and you need to start achieving these goals and not allowing yourself to quit or give up. You need to be training. You need to be getting better shape. You need to be absorbing a lot of knowledge right now. You need to be getting your finances in order. This is no time for baby steps. This is a time to get extremely aggressive in your resolutions, extremely aggressive in your training, and making leaps and bounds of improvement. The days of, hey, go, just train for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or, babies, that's over. We don't have time for that. We're running out of time. You need to be improving now at a faster rate because of what's coming. Because at some point you're going to wake up one day and this stuff is going to be out of control. Banks are going to be closed. The credit cards will be shut off. There's going to be food shortages. Something, big event could take place in America. You're not going to have time for these little New Year's resolutions because you want to improve your golf game or you want to look good in your little, sweater or whatever. No, you need to be not worrying about now about what you look like. You need to be worrying about how fast you can move. Are you getting stronger? Are your defensive skills improving? Do you have tactical skills? Do you have cash? Do you have assets? This is not about, looking good on social media. This is not about, New Year's resolutions for Facebook. This is really now about life and death, in my opinion. And we need to be improving because we have people like this, Lindsey Graham, who urges the president to blow Iran off the map over the Red Sea attacks. I mean, it's war hawks like Lindsey Graham that want to start a war now in Iran. So we're in Ukraine, we're in the Middle East, we'll be in Taiwan, and now Lindsey wants to get us in Iran. He wants to get your kids over there. And again, I don't sit here to be political. I don't want to see people die. I don't know who's going to pay for all these wars, but they want to send your kids over there to Iran, the Middle East. That'll be next. This guy is a complete psychopath. This guy's never been in a fight in his life. He's never been to war, but he's ready to send your kids to war and blow Iran off the map. Think about the ramifications of that. What could happen right here? This guy is absolutely out of his mind. You have to remember, he's not going over there. He's going to send your kids over there. He's not going to pay for this. You're going to financially pay for this because they'll raise your taxes, they'll print more money, devalue the currency, and you're no longer middle class because we're in, a half a dozen wars. Absolute psychopath. I'm going to end with this last one. I want everybody to be safe out there. And New Year's resolution, how about working on your security? How about that one? You need a solution for your life? How about working on security? This was absolutely, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. It made me just so angry. I wish I could have done something, honestly. 2 men viciously beat 67-year-old Houston man with Alzheimer's and dementia after he tried to get into the wrong car. There is a video of this. You can YouTube it, Google it. This old man, nearly 70 years old, his name was Florentino Jurado. Florentino Jurado, almost 70 years old, Alzheimer's and dementia, didn't even weigh 100 pounds. He's lost. He's not sure what car to get in. I think he was with one of his kids, his daughter. He was looking for the car, and he was trying to get into a car that was locked. It was the wrong car. These 2 evil people walk up to this old man, and they began the first one just punched him in the face. And the one dude's pretty big. He's probably 250 pounds. Punches this old man, Mr. Jurado, right in the face, knocks him to the ground. They start kicking him. They start punching him. Broke his cheekbone. He's got some brain damage. This happened over Christmas. Ruined the entire family's Christmas because their father is in the hospital with a broken cheekbone and some brain damage now. What in the world is going on here? One of the suspects had no priors. The other one had 5 priors in addition to his new charge. This could have been your dad. It could have been your grandfather. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is how younger people in America now treat elderly with dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, vicious. One of the most vicious attacks I've seen in a very, very long time. Who could walk up and literally hit a 70-year-old man who doesn't even weigh 100 pounds? You're 250 pounds and you punch an old man in the face and then kick him when he's down? Then they almost ran him over when they backed up. You know, back in the day, people would say, "Sir, are you lost? Let me help you." Grab his arm and look for his family, and you would try to help somebody like this, no matter how old they were. But I mean, literally, a 67-year-old man, frail, under 100 pounds, just really made my blood boil. Really made my blood boil. And what in the world is this guy, one of them, doing with 5? Right here it says he had 5 pending cases, and this dude is walking around on the streets of America with 5 pending cases. Now 6. He'll probably be out with 6 pending cases. You are walking by these people every day. You don't even know it. Your kids, your wife, your daughters, you're walking by these people every day. Pending cases. We got a lot of bad people walking around. I wish somebody was there to help this old man and do something, but then that person will probably be in prison. But it's shocking. It's shocking. This country is getting very, very angry, without a doubt, when it sees, 70-year-old elderly people being beaten on the streets of America. When people are living paycheck to paycheck and tens of billions of dollars are going to other countries. When people can't walk the street. People in this country pay such high taxes, and then they can't even walk on the streets of America because they're so unsafe. Businesses can't get loans, they can't get help, and they're closing down. It's a mess, ladies and gentlemen. It is a mess. Get ready for 2024. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be epic. It's going to be historic, quite possibly biblical. Be prepared. Again, these New Year's resolutions where people, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want my tennis game to get better. I want my golf game to get better. I want to look better in my pink sweater on Facebook. And, get your priorities straight, ladies and gentlemen. Get your priorities straight. Right now, you should really be focusing on your preps, your skills, your performance, and things like that, and your relationship with God, because this is going to be very, very biblical, and you better be walking close to God. You really better be walking close to God. Anybody that truly believes that we're in trouble right now, that things are coming, you better get right with God. You really better get right with God. Have a good evening. God bless America. Pray for this country. Here comes 2024. It's hours away, and I think it's going to be one for the books, for the record books, no doubt about it, or the history books, the record books and the history books. We're going to see more records broken, because I think we're going to see more debt than ever before. We're going to see more unemployment than ever before. We're going to see records broken in 2024, not the kind that we want. And we're going to definitely make history. Be careful, be safe. God bless all of you. God bless America. Like, share, subscribe. And as always, I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you very, very soon.